There we are. I'm live. It's kind of like you have to check yourself. Am I live? Yes, I'm live. This is Sandra Longmore, and this is Saturday afternoon for my Google Hangout. And I'm here today to bring you some really great information about a secret. A secret why sometimes you attract positive things in your life and sometimes you attract negative things. And it's your choice what you get. And you're going to find out more about that as I get going through this broadcast. But first, I wanted to talk to you about last week's broadcast. Now, the summary of last week. Last week was number 02222 on my iTunes program called She Self-Help Energies for Personal Development. And you can find out more about that by going to my internet site, sandralongmore.com, and seeing the things that I have, the iTunes I've got put up there. And also, got a little hair there. Also, you can subscribe, and I'd love it. Love it if you'd subscribe to iTunes. So, on to what you probably are more interested in is, what are you going to learn today? Because we're these constant learners, and it's so amazing to be human and learn things and have things happen, and you learn more things. Well, last week I talked about your personal value no matter what age you are. And I told you that my birthday's coming up, June 28th, 1942. Yep, that makes me 72 years old. So I'm looking at that other end of the yardstick and loving every minute of it. So, we really are unique. You are unique, and you're living a life that's so, so unique. And there's none other like you any place on the planet. And life is just too full of things to let more time go by. Life is just too full of things to waste them on rules that don't make sense anymore. Life is just too full to not find yourself laughing and smiling and having a good time with life. Because that's what we're here for, joy. I really think the purpose of life is joy. Now, last week I talked about summer. I talked about summer, that this might be your best summer ever. Well, that's kind of not true, because you got a lot of summers coming, and they are going to be good too. But in the moment, this is the only summer you have, so why not make it the best summer ever? And when you do that, you're going to find yourself, you are getting older and you're getting wiser, but every day you make choices. And by saying, you know what, I'm going to make this the best life possible, the best summer ever, the best of everything, it helps you get out of bed in the morning. Yeah. Those positive aspects of life help you feel better about life no matter what circumstances you're currently looking at. And one little tool is when you first wake up in the morning. Oh dear, you're first waking up in the morning. Go into your mirror, look into the mirror, and don't go, ah, go, hi, I love you. I really, really, really love you. And that's a great way to start your day, don't you think? Yep, it's a high vibe, and it'll get you rolling down that good track. Well, are you still not convinced on how to live your second life or your second half of life? Because you say, well, I just don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen the next day. I could be hit by lightning, was what I've heard people say. And instead of that, what about if you replace those thoughts and feelings with, I am living a life of discovery. I am living a life of expectancy. I know that something today is going to really happen that's going to be fun and something I've never thought of or never done before. A thought, when you start manifesting things, they just start of little sparks of feeling, little sparks of thought, and then they grow and grow and grow and grow. And pretty soon you find yourself doing amazing things that you never even thought you could do it. Now, one of the things that I discussed last week a bit was about a common denominator. And a common denominator is, it's so special, this common denominator. It's the great healer. It's the greatest shifter of energy, and that is the emotion of happiness. Probably sounds a little Pollyanna to you, but let me tell you, it's a big secret. To feel good about your life, you have to figure out what your point of perspective is and then go for the one you want. And today I have this secret to share with you. It's a great secret for improving your life. A secret that's going to help you understand your life better. A secret that's going to help you understand others and events that used to just plain puzzle you. This is a secret of how your energy and the energy of others combined together create a point of perspective that, put together with focus, awareness, create the reality you're currently living. Now, to bring this home a little more, this last weekend I went to 2 events that gave me a big aha, a big light bulb moment about how important it is to align with the energy of vibration. Now, as a refresher, a vibration is it's of a smaller word, which is vibe. And that means whatever you're thinking and feeling and focusing on in the present moment is what you're going to get more of. And this is a universal law. Now, an example of 2, I'm going to go into an example of 2 events that I went to. I just love my life, because what happens is, as I'm bringing this content to you every single week or 3 weeks out of the month, I always take the last week off. I get to have energetic things happen to me that I can then wrap them up and kind of share with you in a way that's meaningful and uplifting and creates a sense of just discovery within me. So anyway, these 2 events that I went to one was a funeral, that was on Saturday, and on Sunday was a high school graduation. Now, the funeral, when I found the address of the funeral, after driving around, I found a sign that said, right under the address, it said wedding. It said, this is a wedding of Eric and Evelyn. Now, I was really puzzled because that was the address, and my GPS said, you have arrived at your destination, so I knew I was in the right place. But this was not a wedding, this was a funeral. There were like 75 cars around in the parking lot, and I was really surprised at how many people. So I thought, well, I'm here. I'm going to go in and find out what's going on. So I got out of my car, and when I walked around to the patio where everybody was, they were just laughing, and there was food there, and they were talking and having a great time. So I was confused and puzzled, and I stopped someone and I said, say, can you tell me, is this a wedding? And she said, oh, no, this isn't a wedding. This is a funeral for Claudia. This is a celebration of Claudia's life. So I was in the right place. But you know what? The vibe was off, according to my memory banks. Funerals are usually, you have the emotional scale here, and you've got at the top is joy and happiness and freedom and laughter, and at the bottom is kind of regret and sadness. And I thought, that's not what's happening here. So I went ahead and joined into that atmosphere, and I talked to old friends and ate a great catered dinner. And then it came to the time when people got up front and started talking about Claudia's life. And Claudia had been one that approached life with a sense of humor. She always had something funny to say, and she really touched everybody's life with this sense of humor and with great stories about how she had chosen to live her life. And I was just like, wow. And it just felt like a really good vibration, a really good way to celebrate my friend Claudia's life. So then there was the next day. And the next day I went to the high school graduation. And that was a graduation of one of my art students, Maisha. She had been in my art classes for 10 years and had grown up from a little tiny girl to a beautiful, talented woman. And as I went into her celebration, I was a little puzzled because on Facebook she had said only 14 were invited. But when I went into the Doubletree Inn, I was directed to the ballroom, and there were over 200 people, and they were all dressed in these beautiful, gorgeous saris with lace and color, and you can imagine from an artist standpoint how gorgeous everything was with these fabrics and smiling, happy people. And they were indeed happy. Again, that vibration was a 1. So I asked myself, how can a funeral and a graduation have the same vibration? Now remember, I'm an energy master. I've studied this stuff. I practice this stuff. So I'm kind of like a detective when it comes to figuring out vibration and figuring out energy. And so I was, figuring out that the vibration of that funeral and the vibration of the wedding are a match. They're the same. They're a 1. So what's that all about? And then I thought, well, what difference does it make anyway? I thought all those feelings and thoughts. Then I thought, no, this is what it's about. You, me, need to know the vibration, because whatever number on that vibrational scale, a 1, which is like joy, happiness, freedom, and laughing and smiling, or the lower numbers like sadness and regret and guilt. You need to know that, first of all, you need to know, and this is the secret, is that all vibration is good. It's not like this isn't right. It should be a vibration of depression if you're at the funeral, or this is the right vibration. It's a celebration if you're at the graduation. No, you need to know what your vibration is, what you're currently feeling, because only once you know and become aware of the number of your vibration on the emotional scale will you be able to shift it and change it and mold it into something different if you want, or just go with it and celebrate it and get high on the feeling of happiness if it's to your liking. And all emotions, like I said, all emotions are good. So it's not like you're accepting one and not accepting the other. They're all good because they are your guidance system. They're the guidance system to bring you in more into alignment with your higher self, with your most expanded self. And your source is always at work doing that. Always. So when I was at both of these events, I noticed something that was common. Now, I heard a lot of vibrational shifting as I talked with guests, and there was some regrets, quite a few regrets by the people I talked to. At the funeral, they were my high school companions, and there was a lot of regrets about something they hadn't done in their life. And at the wedding, there was regrets too, that their children were getting older and they hadn't accomplished this or that in their life, and they just didn't have time, or whatever. But the vibration was one of regret. They're at this high vibrating event, both of them, and there's a vibration of regret. So you need to know that if you're at any kind of a event or any kind of feeling and you're feeling less than joy, that your vibrational point of perspective needs a shift. It needs to shift. And it's always shifting anyway. You can either go by kicking and screaming, having things get so bad that you finally want to figure it out, or you can just pay attention and practice vibrational frequency finding and creating. Now, this secret really isn't known very well. And how do I know about it? Well, I can't really expect you to know about it because I have been immersed in this information about energy shifting since I first found out it's possible. I have seen how essential knowing energy shifting is to my own life and to the life of my clients and my family, is because I want to act as a catalyst in my coaching practice to help clients realize how important it is to be able to, number one, recognize energy for what it is, and number two, if you don't like the energy there or the vibration, shift it and change it and figure out how to do it. Now, knowing how to deliberately direct your energies makes a huge difference in your life. It makes a difference between being in the winner's circle or stuck in the loser's circle. Look, or wanting to get out of bed or wanting to cover up your head when the sun comes up in the morning, or finding yourself around people who are in joy and happiness and laughing, or around people who are always in the middle of one problem or another. Ever wondered that? Look at your vibe. So, or seeing yourself attracting opportunity after opportunity, new possibilities after new possibilities, and always being on the side of more. Or the other way is always being on the side of more disappointing events or disappointments and unrealized dreams or goals. So the secret of learning how to deliberately create your life and overcoming struggles is next. Yoo-hoo! Always give you a little carrot there. So, this knowledge of energy shifting has been a passion of mine ever since I learned that I didn't have to live in circumstances or be a victim in my own life story, and that I could change everything by practice, by becoming a deliberate creator. And this path of self-development and personal development has led me to becoming certified in things like certified in law of attraction and energy mastery and life coaching. I just love this stuff. It's like candy to me. And you're going to benefit from finding out more about your thoughts and how your emotions create the current reality you're living in. Yep. And when you work it there, when you work it and you learn how to deliberately create and shift it, you're going to be smiling more. You're going to be laughing more. And you're going to be, most of all, in the right place at the opportunity for opportunities to just come in. And it's exciting. You're going to appreciate all of life. Nature is going to be gorgeous to you. And you're going to be open to all possibilities. And most of all, you're going to really know that you're living on purpose and aligned with that is the vibration of happiness. So to recap what I've said so far, and I've said a lot, there have been layers of meaning here, is I've told you about a secret. I've told you about a secret that's going to help you understand your life and the lives of others better. It's a secret that's going to help you understand events in your life and the lives of others, whether they're positive or negative. And your energy and the energy of others combined, get all combined to create a point of perspective. And when you get that point of perspective down with focus and energy, you can create the results that you really want. Now, some people call this energy different things. I call it the 96%. 4% being what I am in blood and brains and the stuff that's going to stay here after I transition. And then there's the 96%. So I call it the 96%. It's just easier that way. But other labels have been the universal principle, law of attraction, faith, or, well, that's just in your stars. Whatever happens to you, or you're a lucky person, or it was just meant to be that you're the one that just loves energy, Yeah, I think it's what's urging you forward is always, always for your best interest. But the important secret here is through practice and becoming aware of your current vibration, you can change the results you're currently living. And today's broadcast is about how to become that deliberate creator in your own life. And I gave you examples of what energy feels like in 2 events, a funeral and a graduation, and how you have the ability to create your own point of perspective, no matter what events you are currently observing. And you can do it successful. You can do it successfully by becoming aware of your current point of perspective. And once you pinpoint that, the emotion on the vibrational scale, once you pinpoint that place, you have the upper hand to shift your energy the way you desire. Now, life coaching is one of the most effective ways to get the shift that improves your life. Through sessions with a life coach, you can pinpoint those auto-repetitive memory patterns that just go on autopilot, or those feelings that kind of sometimes just dump on you. And that you can get enough of a view that you can change the current perspective of your life. I call it the coach's lift. When I get coached like that and something happens and those auto-repetitive patterns change, I get this kind of lifting, shifting in the upper part of my brain. It's kind of like a brain cleanse. And I love that feeling. Well, this is the end of the call today, the end of the broadcast today, and that's the content that happened this last week in this beautiful June. And I'm getting ready now for a full week of receiving more content and bringing it to you, because I love doing this, and I am so happy that you like it too and you're my viewer. So next week, it'll be something entirely different based on the energies of the universe and the 96% most expanded part of beings. And it's all good. We're always in the right place at the right time. So check me out again on iTunes. Subscribe to my program. Everything, social media, my internet sites are all under sandralongmore.com. So I'd love to hear from you. And until next week, bye for now.